A simple bug bite turned into massive COVID hysteria for us, the Brewmance. My name is Rob Hunter. His name is Mike Russell. Thank you for being with us as part of the Brewmance family. We're going to walk you through something very interesting that we've been dealing with the past week in just a moment. But each week, we gather around a drink or two and have open-minded, interesting conversations. So, Mike, what are we going with
No,
today?
I want you to start off because we have two different beers, and mine is just, it might take a little bit of storytelling. So go for it. You start with your buddy.
All right, I'm starting with my Alaskan Amber Ale, basically because I had it in the fridge, and I was like, I'm going to drink this because I don't have an opportunity to go to the store, in part because I haven't been feeling great all week. More on that in a moment.
Okay. And then I did go to the store while I thought I was feeling great, and I found this little gem. This is the Stone Brewing Enjoy By series. Yeah, and keep in mind, we're in November. This is the Stone Enjoy By July 4th, 2021.
You just bought it this week.
It's a double IPA. I just bought this thing. It's a tangerine and pineapple IPA. And so, okay, I'll bite on that and I'll give that a shot, especially with guys from Stone. But yes, it was marked down from $17 a six pack to $10 a six pack. Still, no. You should have had this gone at $5 a six pack 2 or 3 months ago. But yes, I had to, because that's absolutely crazy. You have a beer with a date on it that says Enjoy By, and you're still selling it at $10 a six pack.
Yeah, not like priced at whatever you want to pay, get it out the door.
Make us an offer.
Don't care. Exactly.
Make us an offer. We're going to put this in the back for the employees or something like that. Holy cow.
Well,
that is absolutely insane.
3 months past due, 4 months past due.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
Crazy. Come on, guys.
It's over 4 months. It passed its Enjoy By date. Anything in your refrigerator, you give it a smell test. And I'm not kidding. I cracked it open earlier before we started the show, and I did a little. Did it go funky? Did it go funky on me? Yeah, we'll definitely chat about that. But okay, Spidey, tell us what went down.
So Wednesday of a week and a half ago, I felt a weird pain in my shoulder. I was like, why does my shoulder sore? And I touched it like you normally do. And I'm like, okay, all right, I got a little bruise there or something. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe I was carrying my bag the wrong way. Maybe it was too heavy one day, and I didn't think anything of it. Until Thursday, I was like, oh, wait, this feels like a bite. I was like, oh, I got bit by something. Oh, okay, no big deal. Until Friday. And Mike and I, Russell and Hunter, 550 KFYI, afternoon show. We go in, and I'm like, man, I'm feeling a little off today. I don't really know why. So we're like, it's fine, get through the power through and come back Monday, no big deal. But I was laid out all weekend.
Yeah.
At one point on Sunday. So now we're a Thursday full day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the fourth day of this, I was going to do some laundry, not feeling great. And I go to bend over to pick up the laundry because we have a stackable washer dryer. And I was putting things in the washing machine. I was like paralyzed. I couldn't move.
What?
Yeah, it was like I got stuck. And it was like this crazy pain. Like, I have lower back pain. I'm a 43-year-old guy. But this pain was like getting stabbed. It was crazy. So that was the paralyzing effect. And I think what I've realized on that is whatever venom bit me, probably a spider, that's how the venom works. So if you're a victim of a spider bite and they get you in the web, you're going to be like, doo-doo-doo-doo, and you're like, I can't move. It hurts too much. And then you eventually paralyze and the spider then eats you.
So you've been watching Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings a little too much, buddy.
Maybe.
No, I don't think a spider's going to get you and wrap you up like that. But then that didn't stop there.
No.
You sent me a text on Saturday. You're like, dude, I know what happened. I know I've been feeling off. I was bit by a spider.
Yep.
So then you know me, because I've been let down 2 times already because COVID hit and no zombies. And then we had the experimental vaccine, no zombies. And so I'm like, okay, my man got bit by a spider. He's going to get superpowers, and I'm going to be the funniest, coolest superhero sidekick ever. And
Done
nothing
deal.
yet.
No superpowers. So Sunday, I felt awful. Monday, I was like, I felt okay. So I came to work. Tuesday, I came to work. But then I woke up Wednesday morning, and I was like, I feel the worst of all of these things right now. My head hurt. I just felt off, had no energy. So I called in sick on Wednesday, a week after I got bit, and, left poor Mike hanging. And now Mike's got a little something funky going on.
But then that exact morning, so I'm like, no problem, dude. I got you taken care of. All good, all good. So I take the kids to school, and I start getting ready, and I feel my forehead. I'm like, oh, that's warm. That's weird.
Oh.
And I do a quick temperature taking, 100.8. I'm like, what in the world? And then from that moment, I started getting lower energy, very low energy, very low energy. Okay. I
Sleepy
got
Joe, Sleepy Mike.
a ton of low energy. And so, and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. I never get temperatures. So I had to call the boss. So the boss said, okay, can you broadcast from home? I'm like, sure, I can make it. Yeah, no big deal. I'll broadcast from home. So I broadcast from home, and by about 6 o'clock, about an hour left in the show, I'm like, I am going to die.
Mike battery down. Mike battery drained.
I plug stuff in my ears. Come on, charge me up again. And so, but here's the deal. The next day, I still had temp, but I felt better. And then I started feeling a lot better. And so I was like, okay, boss, I'm gonna come to work. He's like, nope. COVID protocols. My COVID protocols. I just had like a 24-hour flu. What do you mean COVID protocols? Then he's like, oh, you gotta get COVID. You got 3 days until after your temperature breaks. I'm like, but I don't have COVID. I took a test. I did a little swabby. I rammed that thing up so hard, thing gave me blood on it. That was crazy. I was like, I wanted to make sure.
I really don't have COVID.
I really wanted to make sure I got it up into the nasal pharynx.
So I got it
Fauci. Good all job. The way up into the nasal pharynx, and I don't have COVID. And so I was like, but this is kind of where we've landed in this world. We have to go through these protocols, even if you don't have it. I don't have it. Right. I just had a flu. I'm ready to go back to work. I feel good. I'm make it happen. So just a weird thing that we've become in that we're doing.
And you wonder really how long is it going to last? Is there ever an end to this? Because one thing we can all agree on, we don't have a stated goal on what the national policy on COVID is. It seems to be eradicating a virus, which is something that's unrealistic because we've never been able to do it. And that's why we continue to go down this path where even if you don't have COVID, you got to act like you have COVID. Hey, better safe than sorry, Mike, right?
Or better than that, they treat you like you have COVID.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But it's seriously like your buddies that you drink with. They probably think you're a raging alcoholic, but you just, you get ripped up with them maybe once a month or twice a month, but that's the only time you ever see them. They're like, oh, this guy's a mad drinker.
Every day I see him, he's drinking.
What's Yeah, exactly. Every time I see him, he's got a beer in his hand. Well, you see me twice a month. So, whatever. But that's I just think it's almost just kind of like a judgy kind of thing.
100% is because there's, especially now, if you're not vaccinated and you get COVID, it's almost like, well, what did you expect was going to happen, you dumbass? It's like, that's how people treat you. And you're like, well, I don't know. I managed to not have it for 2 years. I was doing the math and trying to avoid crowds. And I worked out okay for what? So I got it. Okay. Yeah. Now what?
Exactly.
But I mean, it's even the spider bite. Like I went to get a COVID test last weekend because I wasn't sure. I'm like, I don't know. The body pain thing is something I've heard about COVID. So I'm like, maybe I just didn't get the fever, but I should go get a test anyways. Got the test, came back negative. So that's why I felt okay to go to work on Monday because I just tested the day before. But it's super strange that even if it's a bite, you're like, well, I might as well just make sure I don't have the Rona. So let me just go roll down to the testing center and get one of these tests.
Yeah, and pay $30 to get a test because I'm just that weirded out by it. And I think we're all weirded out by it. I think we all come by it, honestly, whether you're vaccinated or not. Yeah. We all come by, and there's no judgment here whether you are or you're not. So there's the really the yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll say I don't want to get political. I just think that I just think that we can do better and just not freak each other out, because I think that fear is what made me in the second day go, yeah, I kind of might feel that in my chest a little bit. I took that COVID test, no COVID. I didn't feel in my chest anymore. You see, it's like we're all in like this hyper defensive panic mode, and the mind starts to jack with your physiology.
Well, because you heard so much about what happens when you get COVID, you somewhat want to be prepared, and there are people that advocate the earlier treatment you get, the better it is, the easier it is to fight off. So I run through those scenarios, and I'm like, okay, how bad is this going to get? If it is COVID, like, okay, what are my plans? Where am I at mentally? What am I going to do if this happens? Am I going to go to the urgent care? Am I going to go to the hospital? And because like you just said, your mind just goes 0 to 60.
Yep.
So that just doesn't add to good feelings.
Your mind starts jacking with your body.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So
No.
you with your Spidey Bite, how many websites you look at about your Spidey Bite?
Oh man, I can't even count at this point.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, spider bite, spider bite, spider bite. What does it look like? What are the symptoms? They
My
have that
sister
symptom.
my sister and her best friend, if they get symptoms or something, they have the other one do the research so they don't start panicking. They'll call each other and say, "These are the symptoms, find out what I got."
Next time I get bit
Smart
by a
move.
spider, I'll have you duck
I got you.
go it for me.
I got you, bud. I got you,
This is
pal.
the Brewmance. In a moment, let's admit it, we was kind of late this year, and holiday creep is here. It's the Brewmance 550 KFYI.
It is the Brewmance. Thanks for being with us. This is the time of holidays and holiday creep, kicked off by Halloween, and Halloween totally was lame this year. Rob, each and every week we gather around a fantastic beer. In this case, two different fantastic beers. What do you got, bud?
I've got Alaskan Amber. They're like OG. I think this might have been the first Alaskan beer I ever had from the Alaskan Beer Company. So thought I'd revisit it. It's sitting in the fridge looking all pretty. What you got, Mike Russell?
I have something that's absolutely asinine. I saw this at the store. This is the Stone Brewing's Double IPA. It's a tangerine and pineapple IPA, but it's from their Enjoy By series from July 4th. It's November. July 4th, and still on the store shelves, marked down, not even 50%.
Come on, guys.
Exactly.
At least get it down below the 50%.
That's funny. And I can actually do your Alaskan Amber review because I was on an Alaskan cruise with my ma.
That's right.
And they had 0 IPAs on the entire ship. So they had the Alaskan Kolsch and the Alaskan Amber.
Mm-hmm. Drank a lot of those.
I drank a lot of those begrudgingly because it was just there was no IPAs. But each port we went to, I ran as fast as I could. I don't care if it was 5 a.m, ran as fast as I could to find an IPA, and I grabbed an IPA.
I like it. I need it. My tongue needs it. The bitterness needs it. So the good news is you've already passed your own personal version of hell, Mike. So anything from there on out, nothing. You got this.
It's all downhill from here. We're all good. Mm-hmm. So yeah, good. Yes, but listen, Halloween sucked this year. Can we all just admit it? It was just a weird vibe. It was a weird vibe by everybody. Rob, you didn't celebrate this year, no?
No, because I was down for the count with a spider bite. So I didn't want to go hang outside and pass out candy. So I just stayed inside and turned the porch light off. First time ever. First time I've ever done that.
Yeah, and still all the while still hoping and praying that you next year you'd be going as Spider-Man because you would have spider powers.
Oh, I won't. It'll just be me. I'm just going to go as me because I will have spider.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're getting a new costume for you? You're not going to just go Spidey costume and get a new Rob costume?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if Spider-Man got to create his own costume, maybe I should create my own costume and my own superhero name. And
we need to start hanging out with like smarter people, like Tony Stark level people that can just make a cool, outfit.
That's true. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. So if anybody knows Tony, reach out to Mike, reach out to me, see if we can work something out here.
Yeah. So the Halloween sucked. We did our normal thing. It was just a trickle of kids. It was kind of it wasn't, there was no anything, no excitement, no nothing. And the Astros won the baseball game that night. It was just bad all around. It was a bad kickoff.
Mood has overtaken the country because the Astros have won a game in the World Series.
Well, it was Halloween, so it kind of makes sense. Kind of spooky, scary kind of thing. Maybe it kind of fit in the vibe. Maybe MLB had that worked out. Yeah. But they did ultimately lose. So the cheating little punks, absolute ridiculous cheating punks, they lost.
What a shame. I remember actually watching the playoffs last year because the Dodgers played the Braves, I think, in the NLCS. Am I not mistaken about that?
Correct.
And I remember it was game 7. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize the Braves were this good. And I was like, man, I already have to watch out for this team. And lo and behold, they won the World Series. There was a guy, I don't know if you saw, a guy coached something or other. In March, he said Braves over Astros in 6. That was his prediction in March. Nailed it. I said that. That was pretty cool.
Wow. My family, Dodger fans, and my kid likes to be a punk and talk trash. So he goes, I think Ray's dad thinks the Ray's year. I'm like, boy, you're about to get elbow in the nose. You're a Dodger fan. Act like it. Or I'll tattoo in LA on your forehead. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. Okay. So obviously Halloween sucked. But Halloween was kind of skipped over this year. You look at
is it because it was a Sunday or because we're not quite sure what to do yet?
No, I just think that holiday creep it's not profitable. I think selling Halloween candy and costume anymore, people are more making their own costumes or buying costumes online. I don't think it's the big industry it used to be. So retailers are just moving into Thanksgiving and moving into Christmas already. I mean, go to
I
Lowe's, go to Home Depot.
saw.
It's insane.
Is it? Yeah, that's where, because I went to Lowe's like last month, early in the month, and they already had all the Christmas section. I was like,
Yep.
October. Let's say it was October 4th. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No,
No,
I'm not ready for this yet, man.
but the
Please.
beer industry does the same thing. The beer
Yeah,
industry
true.
is Oktoberfest are out a month early, and all of the Christmas beers and all that stuff are already hitting the shelves. It's not even a thing anymore. It's just we're gonna take the fourth quarter of the year and just mush all of these things with pumpkin and different spices and all of these different holiday flavored beers, and we're gonna put them, just blow the shelves up with them. It's all just one like holiday season now.
It's like getting hit in the face with confetti you don't want. Can't
Do you
help
ever
it.
want to get hit in the face with
No,
confetti?
that's true. But it gets like stuck in your hair. It's in your ear. You're like, I can't even get rid of this no matter what I do. I took 9 showers. I still have confetti in my eyes.
I think you're talking about glitter.
Well, I was trying to fuse the two without fusing the two.
Oh, okay. No, glitter's
Yeah.
glitter's just rough. It is just rough. Not that I know where you would get glitter on you.
No.
I've heard from
Arts
several
and
people.
crafts.
It's right. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
as kids, you do the whole glue and then put the glitter on it, man, for days. Like when we go hunting, dove feathers. It's the glitter of the outdoors.
Sticks
I've had
right
my
to
truck
you.
washed. I've had my truck detailed, and you could go in there right now and find a dove feather somewhere. It's just stuck. It's just the way it is. Yes. But the holidays are here, and it's time really to think about, whoa, crikey, I have in-laws coming in. I have family coming in. I have to feed them. I have to entertain them. And the stress and anxiety just starts to build up inside. Just, whoa, at least for me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's a me thing. But it is, you got to start thinking about these kinds of things. And one of those things is, what are you going to drink? Because I ain't getting through it without drinking. I'm not lying.
That's why they invented drinking. Holidays and in-laws.
Exactly.
No offense to any in-laws out there, or my in-laws.
They understand. I know you're.
Oh, they drink because of me,
drink,
guaranteed. They're like, oh,
they just
God,
drink
it's Rob.
straight up.
Bring an extra bottle of wine.
They just drink straight up. It's fine. I am in a drinking family, so it's all good. But you think about that. Do you go with the all local thing? Do you go with the look what we do here in Arizona and look how we do here in Arizona? Because you're gonna be hanging out, I think, for the holidays, both holidays, with just an all Arizona lot, right?
Well, yeah. That's we do weird things on the holidays. So most people do traditional things, right? Like it's you come, you have dinner, everybody hangs out. We're just like, oh, let's go to Flagstaff. Oh, let's go do this. So we don't do the traditional thing. So it's interesting in that realm because it's not as stressful. The stress comes from trying to find the right place and the right things for everybody to do. So
doesn't that make it stressful if you're traveling during the holidays?
If you have to fly, yes.
I think it's its own level of stress. It's just a different version of stress. Like, where I have to wake up and make sure the turkey goes in at the right time. You've got to make sure you got your right location. You got to travel there. You got to make sure you check in and this. I mean, there's just a different level of stress. I mean, different version.
Yeah, but it's always it's around. It's just how you deal with it, though. I think is the key. And
we just covered that. You drink through it.
Well, that's true, but you don't always want to drink through it. Like sometimes you just got to know, like each other, and say, you know what? There's certain times I'm just going to walk away, and hope if you're offended, sorry about that. But I like my wife and her parents. We kind of have this vibe where we kind of know when we get on each other's nerves.
Oh,
we just have this sense, and we understand, like, okay, that's just going to happen. That just happens to all people, and sometimes you just got to give each other space. I think that's a difficult part about doing family. If you don't see them a lot, you might not have that sort of natural vibe where, oh, okay, there's a little bit of this here. I'm going to make a slide. I don't know. Just theorizing here on the Brewmance. This is what we do. We have these conversations.
This is what I've done in my family. I've said the doors are always open, and it's at my house. So that takes away a lot of the stress because I don't go anywhere. So I think especially during holidays and holiday like weekends and stuff like that, that's amateur hour. People traveling, being on the roads and stuff like that. I could do without that. So I said, it's at my house. I will host. and people do what you do. And that's it. So I think it takes a lot of the stress away. I'm like, come one, come all. If you 15 people show up, 15 people show up. Let's feed them. Let's make it happen.
Yep.
If 15 people don't show up and it's just me and the family, okay, things are fantastic and great. So I think that helps out quite a bit as well, because I can slide out at any time because it's my own house.
Yeah.
I got my own man cave. I can go out there, sit. I got TV out there. I'll sit in a folding chair and just watch, what is that? Squid Games? Yeah, watch that. Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't watched that.
I actually finished it this week. I finished it this week. I did. I finished this week. Good ending. There's a couple things you got to muscle through on Squid Games. Like the whole like backstory garbage that's like doesn't mean anything. Just get to the games. Let's go.
Get to the chase here.
And then the end is a pretty good little twist. So pretty solid.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll put it on the list of things to add. I kind of do one show at a time now. It's kind of my thing. One, finish it, move on.
Yeah.
Speaking of moving on, it's not really a move on question, but are you changing what you're eating this Thanksgiving because of inflation? Is it time to go minimalist? We'll talk about that next year on the Brewmance 550 KFYI. Is 2021 the year of the Thanksgiving minimalists? Woohoo! Let's discuss it here on the Brewmance. My name is Rob Hunter, joined as always by Mike Russell, right here on 550 KFYI and on the podcast. So each week, we have conversations over a drink, open-minded conversations meant to bring people together. We don't care if you disagree with us. Let's have a beer and chat it out. So what did we pick this week, Mike, to chat about? Two different beers.
Yeah, I picked the Stone IPA, the double IPA. It's a what is it called? It's called a fruitfully independent double IPA. And the word independent is on there because this is from their Enjoy By series from the 4th of July.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it in the store. I saw it in the store this week in November, and it was only marked down less than 50%, like 40% off. I was like, y'all should be giving this to your employees, but I just thought it was funny, so I wanted to make fun of the people doing that.
That is very, very
I
interesting. Never met an inventory we couldn't sell here at Big Beverage Company.
Exactly. Yes.
So I got something different.
It rhymes with Bodovine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to say their name, but
figure that out. That's a good code word. You're like a code breaker from World War II.
Right? Yeah. Wind talker over here. Yeah.
My drink is Alaskan Amber, and it's a classic, man. It's a classic amber.
Yes, it is.
Had it in the fridge. I bought a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh man, I'm going to do this right here on the Brewmance.
Well, we got the good news this week that is going to be the most expensive Thanksgiving in the history of Thanksgivings. And because the price of everything is up, literally the price of everything is up, from all of the fixings, all of the everything, ingredients to final products, everything is up. If you're one of the people that farm it out and go to, like, I know some people have like Albertsons and stuff, they do full Thanksgiving meals that they bring to your house. That's over like something obnoxious, like 12 to 15% higher than last year.
Wow.
Everything is up. So what do you do? Is this a time to start looking minimalist? Because you're also right behind that, you're looking at Christmas. The day behind that, you're looking at Black Friday, which things are going to be sold out, not available. And is it time to start thinking, because of supply chain nonsense? Once again, we're not getting political here. Because of supply chain garbage, because of inflation that just skyrocketed, is it time to think about really scaling back this year?
It's a great question. And what do you scale back on?
Everything.
Well, and you kind of have to, right? I mean, if it's 12 to 15%, imagine taking 12 to 15% of every item off. That's essentially what you have to figure out how to do. Unless it's like, you know what? Today's not going to be the day for broccoli casserole because I really don't like broccoli casserole. If you're having something that's a tradition that people are only okay with, I would cut that item out first. Like, have a survey of your family and be like, okay, what's your least favorite item that we traditionally bring to Thanksgiving?
Nice.
And if everybody says, whatever, broccoli casserole, all right, cool. Nobody make broccoli casserole. So that will help us in the savings department.
I want a broccoli casserole.
I think a lot of people like broccoli casserole.
I really do. I don't like the beets. I don't like the cranberries and all that nonsense. We can ditch that. We can ditch that in a hurry. Yeah, get rid of that. But I'm not talking about like cut way back. Like, now Dad will start to carve the strawberry Pop-Tart. No, I'm not talking about like scale that far back. But I mean, instead of the 25-pound turkey that lasts for 3 weeks of sandwiches, you may, got to cut down to the 18 pound. But the problem is the thing that's the whole, we say this in the outdoor world a lot, embrace the suck. And you just gotta do it. It's cold. You got to get up and do all that stuff. And you just got to embrace the suck. You're paying the same price you paid for a 25-pound turkey you're paying for a 16-pound turkey this year. And you just got to embrace it and go. Just kind of like grab your nose and jump in. But you can also look at alternatives as well. Like, what do you think I'm getting at, Rob? I think Rob knows me exactly what I'm getting at right now as far as alternatives to paying $50 for a 16-pound turkey.
Maybe use some of the animals you've harvested on your hunts.
Bingo! Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe you do, instead of what kind of casserole you like, maybe try a dove casserole. Actually, Jenny Rigo from Sportsman's Warehouse gave me a great recipe a long time ago for dove casserole. It's fantastic. Yeah. So I mean, you can look into alternatives like that as well, or just realize that no one likes turkey, so just don't buy a turkey and just get something else.
Well, and then we're both non-traditional in different ways when it comes to this, because you and I both have this opinion, and it's just our opinion. We just happen to agree on this one, that not many people really love the turkey. Now, I'm not saying we don't eat turkey sandwiches from the deli, or you go to a place that actually has turkey, you'd eat it. But we don't like the reward you get for the effort you got to put in to cooking a turkey. That's what I think it is. Because, as we point out, if we love turkey as much as we always say, because every time Thanksgiving, I'm like, I just love some turkey. Why do you only cook it a year is our question.
Yep.
So, of course, our boss was like, I do 4 or 5 turkeys a year. We're like, okay, well, you're different.
You're the exception.
Like turkey.
Yeah, right. And that's fine. I'm not knocking people that do. I mean, my mom, she won't even come over if I'm not making turkey. So we make a little turkey, or just get a turkey breast, things like that. And by the way, I got a pro tip for everyone for Thanksgiving. I know we're jumping way ahead to Thanksgiving here, but it's only less than 2 weeks away.
I know.
So, isn't that crazy? You don't have to cook the turkey whole. You can actually cut it like you do a normal chicken when you're prepping a chicken. You can actually deconstruct the thing and cook the breasts separate from the wings, from the legs, and you can actually come out perfect and not worrying about the whole bird coming out all dry. And you can serve at the same time. It just doesn't look like Norman Rockwell when you put it at the table.
See, and that's another interesting thing. It's that traditional image that we like, right? You're blowing my mind, Mike. I love this.
See, there we go. And then
that's just an element of something that's just not traditional. It's just a little wrinkle. I think every year is a good year to add a wrinkle to your holiday traditions. Try something new.
Yeah, try something new. Some of the minimalist thing might be good. I mean, what's the biggest probably event of Thanksgiving? A nap.
Football.
And the reason why, because you go into this coma, because you ate this gluttonous mountain of food, and then there's about 4 times what you needed still left on the table. So what I'm saying is, not like I support this whole inflation thing or support the supply chain thing, and we could just get over it. I'm upset about it. I mean, I'm fired up about it. But if we are where we are, instead of letting it ruin the event, you might as well just say, you know what, guys? Hey, man, it's not going to be a ton of leftovers this year, but we're going to have a damn good meal. I'm going to try some new stuff. And I like Rob's idea. Take a poll. Which dish do we get rid of? Cranberries. Nice.
Because I think and we're doing the opposite for Christmas dinner. So I know that's a while down the road, another month or whatever. But we came up with this idea that, because I wanted my wife's gumbo, because my wife's gumbo is my favorite thing. So I said, hey, what if you make gumbo for Christmas? She's like, yeah, all right, that's interesting. We should ask people. And I said, what if we asked everybody what their favorite thing was? So we could make this one big meal, or we're actually going to be spending like a week together up north. We could do it on maybe a 4-night basis where, okay, I want Amy to make gumbo. So Amy makes gumbo for the family, and Amy picks her favorite, and then one of us serves that. So Amy picks, okay, my favorite is, I don't know, Rob's mango fried rice. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'll make mango fried rice. And then so on. So everybody gets to pick their favorite thing, and you celebrate that favorite thing.
I like that. That's a lot of fun. Yeah. I do. Or you can just do it as the one meal. Because you're bringing several dishes anyway.
Right, exactly.
You do that whole thing right there. Man, you could imagine what my table would look like. It would be a you know what show. Holy mackerel. We have such diverse taste in this crew. No, but if you're going back to what we talked about, if you're gonna have in-laws over and they're gonna be here for days, might as well do that. Make that fun. Yeah, have a lot of fun. And we're actually doing that next Thanksgiving. We're actually spending Thanksgiving at a hunting ranch. So
Amazing.
it'll be our first. We took off somewhere and went for Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's gonna be freaking wild, dude. I'm like so pumped. It's gonna be crazy.
And that's not a wrinkle. That's like a wave. It's like, I'm just skipping the wrinkle. We're just going all into the deep end, doing a crazy left curveball. I love it.
Why not? You know, I mean, this is, I mean, you got to learn new things. If the whole world's changing, you might as well change it the way you want it to be.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Right?
And
yeah,
that's so cool.
But here's what we're going to do. We're still going to drink good craft beer. We're still going to drink good drinks. And we're still going to have a lot of fun. And we're going to gather around fireplaces. We're going to get around the fire pits. We're going to go around campfires. And we're just going to have a damn good time. Doesn't matter supply chains, inflation, and stuff. We're going to fix it. We're going to take care of it. And by the way, if you got a little bit of jingle in your pocket, you got a little bit more than you think you might have had last year or something like that, you know, do yourself a favor, do your soul a favor, buy a few meals if you can. Buy a few meals for some families if you can. There's plenty of groups out there that are, you know, you can just go take a whole Thanksgiving meal to, or just, you know, give somebody some money and they'll go do it for you. There's a lot of people struggling this year that would love to have a Thanksgiving meal, and not even a curveball meal, a real traditional Thanksgiving meal. And if you can make it happen, please make it happen.
I love that, Mike. Great idea, especially this year, as for many families, this is a real struggle, not just, cut one item out. This is, you know, make or break, have a Thanksgiving or not. So thank you again for that, Mike. In a moment, we'll wrap up the Brewmance as we do traditionally with beer reviews.
Woo!
Right, 550 KFYI.
How in the holiday season do you intro your guests to the craft beer world? Welcome to the Brewmance on the radio and podcast. He's Rob Hunter. I'm Mike Russell. Each and every week we gather around a beer of the week. Rob, we're going to do two different ones this time. What you got, pal?
I've got the Alaskan Amber, Alaskan Brewing Company, one of the OG ambers that introduced many people into the craft beer world. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going with a fruitfully independent double IPA by Stone Brewing, and it's independent because it's the Enjoy By series for July 4th.
Happy birthday, America!
Still available in November at the store and only marked down 40%. So that store that rhymes with Bodelwein, yeah, good job there. Nice, fantastic.
Come on, at least get it down below 50%.
Do you know how many emails or responses we're going to get to the video on YouTube? People saying, that's why you need to shop at bottle shops. Okay. If there was a bottle shop by my house, I really would, but I'm a West Side guy. No one's opened a bottle shop out here. So pound sand. See, that's preemptive. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
Fair point. No, and also a lot of it is convenience too, in the hours and the operation, you know.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, yes. And this is kind of tying into the intro to craft beer. I'm glad you brought this analogy up, Mike, because they're big brewers, right? Budweiser, Coors, they're like your big box stores of beer. We understand the convenience of the big box stores and beer. There's also advantages in price. There's advantages that come with being a massive company. So it's the same thing with the big box stores versus the bottle shops. If it's convenient, if it's easy to do, if you really like it, you'll do it. For Mike, the convenience is not even a factor. For me, it kind of is, but only when they're open. And when I am coming home from work at night, when it's easier for me to stop, many of them are closed. A couple of them are out of the way. You know, so you have all these factors that you go into. So maybe it's Christmas time where you make that exception and you say, okay, I'm going to do something because it's not as convenient. So I'm going to go to the craft shop instead of the big box shop. Just like you would like to maybe introduce someone to a craft beer because they only buy the big box beers. So this is maybe the season to do just that, is introduce ourselves to different things or take advantage of those different things, even if it's a little more inconvenient.
And going back to price, Rob, it's interesting to me. You look at those, 24 racks, 30 racks of Bud Light, and those, they would say the mass brewed beers. They're coming up in price in a huge way. It's not like you're saving a ton of money. getting a Bud Light over I don't know, like a Founders All Day IPA. You're paying the same amount of money, if not more. And I forget about Michelob Ultra. That's what my sister drinks, and I'm blown away every time she comes over. I'll swing by and grab beer, and I'm like, holy mackerel, I'm paying this much for nothing.
Right?
It's crazy. So I think that, even if that's pointed out to the people that you want to introduce to the craft world, or the people that are coming over to your pad or whatever, you go shopping with them and say, like, yeah, I know you drink that. Look how much that is. Now here, look how much mine is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drinking a lot better beer right now, and I'm paying 50 cents more. Okay.
Worth it.
I'm all in. Yeah, 100%. So especially when you have the cool stuff, because of people like, I only drink Coors Light. Okay, cool. I get that. I only drink Coors. I only drink Budweiser. Okay, that's great. Here, I want you to try this Huss Arizona Light Lager. Try this. Just give this one a shot. I'll buy it. You'll try one. If you don't like it, I'll drink the rest, but you're going to like, you'll suck down all 6 of these things in a heartbeat and realize, welcome to the craft world.
And that's the key, too, the match. You got to try, if you're trying to introduce somebody to craft beer based on their beer drinking already, you got to find a match. So if they're drinking, I don't know, a Killian's Irish Red, you introduce them to an Alaskan Amber. And then if you have a local brewery in your city that you can find an amber in a can or a bottle, or maybe take them to the brewery, that's when you do that. You say, look, I know you like ambers. Here's a couple of options for you, just to, explore your palate a little bit, because that's one of the fun parts about beer, that it sounds nerdy, but makes a lot of sense to a lot of beer drinkers. It's about how the beer tastes and how the beer feels. Like, and having a different variety of that all the time is super interesting. Yeah, we have our go-tos. One of my go-tos is Mother Road Tower Station. Others we had last week, Brian Helton's Northeast IPA from Helton Brewing. I have those go-tos, but I still like to go to Wren House and drink their IPAs because they're different. They taste different. They feel different. That's what's fun about being a craft beer lover.
It is. Right. And I like where you're at with that. When you said you got to go to them, you got to, I mean, that's an older term. Meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
We just got to meet them right where they're at. And it's not just in craft beer, by the way. It really isn't. It's, you see there's a bunch of wine drinkers, a lot of spirit drinkers that do the same. Like, oh, if you like this, you should try this. If you drink this, you should try this, because it's not like, oh, you guys are just trying to get people in the craft beer world. As a matter of fact, we are very proudly trying to get people into the craft beer world, because we understand what a better drinking experience that is, to actually love the taste of what you're drinking and have the same result of that nice buzz or whatever you're looking for in that. Yeah.
And the fact that there's someone smart enough and talented enough, or several people smart enough and talented enough, to do 2 things: open and run a business, at least up till that moment, and make the beer better than the big people make the beer. And that person lives 5 miles down the street from you, or 15 miles down the street from you. And they're scientists, and they're sitting there and they're experimenting, and they make that for you. That's the gift that they get to give us. That's why we pay a little bit more for it, because it was made right there.
Yeah. And by the way, going back to bottle shops, there's a cool bottle shop by my sister's joint where she lives. I'm there every time I go over there.
Yeah.
And I just stand in there for like way too long. It gets weird. It gets a little awkward. And because I'm blown away by the selection, and I love that. I think it's a lot of fun, where if I go to the big box joints, it's just, I know right where to go. I know right what I'm getting. If something catches my eye, I might grab it. But yeah, for the most part, that's like Rob said, it's just convenience. But taking the people with you is an experience, because a lot of people haven't been to the box stores. They just get their beer at the grocery store, and they don't understand what a Total Wine, a Bevmo is. And they see this, they're like, this is a grocery store with nothing but booze in it. This is fantastic. I'm all about it. Let's go. Or if they have, and then that's where they get their wine and all that, and they want to get in the craft beer world, to take them and show them a different part of the store they don't go to.
That's the best part. I mean, that's what this season really is. It's not about giving. I mean, it is, because we like to give gifts for each other.
Not about giving. That's awesome.
No, but it's about sharing. Ultimately.
There you go. Okay,
that's why we have get-together. That's why we keep traditions, because it lets us hang out and be together, which is ultimately, I'm getting super nostalgic here on the Brewmance, but that's the whole point. The reason why Mike and I created this, because this is what Mike and I do. This is what Mike and I have always done. We the first time we met, we went to Smashburger, and we basically started this. We just had all these cool conversations, so we get to share that with each other. So what do you have that someone else wants you to share with them. That's what you're looking for on the holidays. At least that's what I'm looking for.
And you know what I'm looking for is well said, buddy. I'm looking for a good beer review. I'm looking for a good beer review. It's exactly what I'm looking at. You going first or am I going first? Who's up?
Well, I think you have to go last because of the story in it and the fact that it's 4 months out of date. We need to weigh in on that.
Hit it, buddy.
Because mine's is pretty basic, right? The Alaskan Amber is about as good as an amber you're going to find. I mean, that's just it. It's a standard flavored amber, and it's really good. So, I mean, as far as an amber goes, I'm just give it a nice 9 right there.
Dang, son. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it helped me through the cruise, like stop the twitching every now and again that I wasn't having an IPA. So I'm saying I'm going to back you on that. But let's get to a fruitfully independent double IPA from Stone Brewing. This is their double IPA, and it is the Enjoy by 7/4/21. That's July 4th for those that don't really understand the number system. And it is so it's a double IPA with tangerine and pineapple. And here's the deal. Stone usually doesn't let me down. I'm actually glad I found this thing in November, as funny as it is that it wasn't marked down like 90%. But anyway,
price to go.
This is a thick beer. This is malty with a lot of solid fruit notes with the pineapple and tangerine. I can catch those, but it's very double IPA-y. It's very heavy. And to me, drinking this on the 4th of July in 100-degree heat here in Phoenix, no, this would not be something I win for. I dig the can art. It's very American flaggy. I love that, but still, this is not a summer sit by the pool kind of beer. So I don't know if I'm going to knock it for its false advertising, because you would want some tangerine and you think, ooh, pineapple and tangerine, this is going to be really light drinking. It is not a light drink. It's a dang good beer. It tastes really, really good. So that's why I'm starting at the 9 level for a double IPA, but I'm knocking it down a whole point to 8 because you false advertise this thing 9 ways to Sunday.
And I think some of their past Drink by July 4th do feel more like summer, if I remember correctly, but maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe it's just an impression I want too.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. False advertising.
So very interesting. An 8 and a 9. Yep. Mike's beer, Rob's beer. That's the point. We get to have these conversations. Thank you really for being a part of them with us, because otherwise it's just Mike and I talking to each other. We want to explore ideas, have interesting conversations. Say hi. Go to brewmance.beer and find us on the social channels. Until next week.
Cheers, everybody.